Focus. Ideate. Innovate. Enable.
Platinum Guild International recently concluded the third edition of the Platinum Buyer-Seller Meet in Hyderabad, an exclusive signature event for authorized platinum jewelry manufacturers and retailers. A platform that brings together the biggest names from the jewelry industry to explore new trends, ideas, and showcase a wide range of new platinum jewelry designs.
This is a buyer-seller meet. It's a B2B meet that we organize. We get all our key manufacturing partners to participate, and they have their new range of product that we have in each of our brands. And we invite all our top retailers. So this year we've got a really great number. I think about 105 or 110 retailers from across India have come. And it's really a B2B engagement. People get to focus on platinum. This is all about platinum. There is no distraction.
Platinum is the fastest growing jewelry category in India, reporting a robust growth of 21% year on year. Millennials today are consciously choosing platinum for its rarity and the unique designs that are inspired by global trends and addresses their desire for modern jewelry.
These consumers have very specific demands, and something which is subtle, something which is not over the top, and also fits in their profile of their wardrobe is exactly what platinum is offering today.
The youngsters nowadays are going into digital and a lot of other kind of white goods and things like that because they have extra cash to spend. But the sentiment still retains because of one of the reasons is because even though we've always been a traditional jeweler in the south, we also now started making a lot of contemporary designs so that the latest, all the youngsters and the teenagers can enjoy it in different various occasions of their part of their lives.
The young customers, young generation customers, they are moving from gold to buy platinum. And moreover, the platinum rate is also comparing to gold. It is very cheaper nowadays.
Last year during the first quarter, the prices were about 2,700 or 2,800 rupees a gram. This year it's above 3,000 rupees a gram for as gold is concerned. Platinum has been quite steady. Internationally, platinum prices have come down. So these are great opportunities basically to pick up platinum as a metal.
With platinum, I think it's very significantly different because I think it is for self-purchase. And what we've seen is people are willing to pay a premium. In addition, we don't really see buybacks for platinum because it is an emotional purchase. It's largely, say, for a wedding ring, or it's for an occasion. So very seldom do we see consumers coming back returning their platinum.
A promising category, giving jewelry retailers a real competitive edge. A true knowledge share platform, this year the Platinum Buyer-Seller Meet brought in stalwarts from different industries to discuss and share disruptive strategies and techniques to capture the heart and mind of India's millennial consumers, an imperative today to grow business. Let's take a look at what the experts had to say.
So let me begin with you first, Murli. What would you say have been the major key disruptors that we've seen in the last 3 years, and what are the kind of growth opportunities that we have seen arise because of that?
If you talk about disruptions, top three of them, unfortunately I have to say all the three disruptions would have a technology undertone. Technology actually becoming the disruptor, technology becoming the business model, technology becoming the brand. It's technology everywhere. More examples, we can discuss more examples. If you talk about business which involves metals, molds, plastics, prototypes, 3D printing is taken over predominantly. So technology is going to be the undertone for whatever you think to disrupt our business models. And it's not only I'm giving away this preaching to you folks who are sitting out there in the crowd. It is affecting us. I work for PwC. It is affecting us in the same way. We actually say in the next 7 to 8 years, we may not exist the same way we exist now. I think 70 to 80% of the services as we do as of today will cease to exist. So that's all I want to say for now, Manisha.
And then, of course, we'll take this conversation forward as we go. But Akash, we have come a long way from 3 channels on DD to the Star to the kind of OTT content that we have right now. Technology, as he said, of course, has been the major disruptor. But from where we stand right now, what is the kind of consumption? What is the kind of spend? Is it more about millennials? What really has been the other thing that has brought the market to where it stands?
I think the big disruption has been on 2 accounts. One is the consumers' massive appetite, consumers' huge demand for change, to be in control. Because consumers wanted to be in control of their viewing spectrum, the entire spectrum of the viewing experience, right from the kind of content that they're going to see, to the devices that they're going to see, and the methods that they're going to use to pay for that content, right? And technology, what it has done, has enabled all of that, right from the backend to a great UI, UX, user interface on a digital product where consumers have started coming in on a small screen, a mobile device, and people and consumers have started spending and watching long-form content. And on Voot, what we, for example, see is a massive time spent. Every day, consumers are spending close to 45, 50 minutes of their time on a daily basis. And for us, this is truly a big disruption, and that clearly comes from the organization's ability to question, to challenge the status quo, and go in with the mindset that it's okay to fail, but fail fast and fail forward.
But Saurabh, coming to you, while we of course have discussed technology and we've just discussed media at length, how do you or how have you seen the brand building being? Because that also has changed so much. The way you get into the market now with advertising, with brand making, retail versus the brands as it stands right now, what really have the influencers been? What have been the behavioral changes that you've seen?
So my number one, where I see a major disruption, especially in the jewelry business, or because we've got a platinum crowd out here, is that the way jewelry is consumed today has changed drastically over the last 5 to 7 years, you know. And the reason for that is primarily we've got a lot more women who are not sitting at home, they're working, they've got a career to build, they're very passionate and aspirational about it. And the use case where you had jewelry being a traditional festive-based purchase has actually moved to workwear, which means it no longer can be as flashy as it used to be. And the question for all of you out here is, are you producing that kind of jewelry? Are you really thinking about how your consumer actually consumes jewelry? So that's one disruption that I've personally witnessed, also advising clients. The second disruption I see is that increasingly it's the buyer's market. Now I understand that there's a buyer-seller meet here. So I'm not talking about the buyers sitting over here, but I'm talking about the buyer's buyers, which is actually the consumers, again, the customers. And they are a lot more aware. They're extremely intelligent. They know how to make choices. They know how to research. You've got all these technology tools available. You've got Googles of the world. You've got all kinds of discovery engines. You've got social media throwing all kinds of ideas on what's trending, what's not. The challenge is in a buyer's market, you've got to be upping your game significantly. You know, you've got to be completely in sync with the realities of the market. So if you're innovating a product by actually just following what was successful in one market, you're probably going to be late by the time you reach the buyer. So the pace of innovation will have to change significantly as far as product design is concerned. The third area where I see a massive disruption which has happened, obviously because of digital, but it's the shopping behavior. Earlier, it was about going to a jewelry shop, spending maybe a couple of hours, buying expensive jewelry, a lot of considerations involved. Maybe you even carry back some jewelry to home, show it to a couple of people, is this good enough? And then finally you make a purchase. And it was kind of time bound in the sense that the shop is going to be open for a while. But the question to ask you is, are you ready for this 24-hour shopping experience? Where people can actually spend a lot of time online, make a purchase at 3 a.m. in the night, and might want to chat with somebody on your e-commerce shop at that point in time, and that somebody's got to be intelligent enough to answer questions in the right way. So the challenge here is, while these disruptions are happening and they're continuous, how are you building your capabilities to kind of keep in terms with that?
So, Murli, coming back to you, standing where my business is right now, what can I expect from here on? How do I look at my business? What is that thing that keeps me ahead of others?
Typical millennial customer who actually likes the love metal more than the yellow metal, if you want to. If you take his or her character persona, as we say in design thinking, what does he and she do? Let's say in a metropolis, let's take one persona, individual, lives in metropolis, has surplus income, which could be spent on something else. His maximum amount of time spent is on a mobile device. You practically can fingerprint them in that sense, what his likes, dislikes, what he or she drinks, where he or she goes. But how much of that information do you get access to? Do you have a digital marketing strategy? Whom are you selling to? Are you selling to the people who have the surplus economy? Are you selling to the old yellow metal? I know it has its place. We have our place under the sun. But how do we increase that share of the wallet, if you will? How do we sell more of it? And what parts of their behaviors do we need to track and tap into? That's your digital marketing strategy is the primary one I would like to address. The basic principles of marketing do not vary. The channels and the way you reach out to your customer will vary. Or another behavior you can target is that as they're becoming individuals with surplus income, they also want a lot of customization. They don't want to buy off-the-shelf product which his or her neighbor is ever going to wear. They don't want to be seen to be wearing the same product. So the individualism will drive customization to the hilt. So these are 2-3 things I would like to address. I would like you to address so that you stay relevant in the market of tomorrow.
Very well said. I think customization and the value for money, the millennials, and of course the kind of cheap data access that we have right now just opens up the world so much more for us. Akash, of course, address all of that and also talk about the global influences that we see here, because when we talk about products, when we talk about jewelry or platinum for that matter, much of that really India seems to be following a lot of that, doesn't it?
Millennials, audiences who are in metros, younger consumers, who have a huge spending power, they will certainly be your early adopters of any products, be it jewelry, be it OTT, be it anything on the digital side, for sure. But there is a rumbling that's happening underneath our feet. The entire landscape is very clearly and strongly changing because India is a country of countries, right? 75% of the new internet consumers in this country are not going to be coming from your metro markets. They're going to be coming from rural markets. They're going to be coming from your tier 2, tier 3 towns. And 75% of those new internet consumers are going to consume content in their regional languages. So when you are thinking about your strategy, don't simply end up thinking about this nice term of millennials and metro, upwardly mobile consumers. Start thinking mass. Start thinking mainstream.
I'm just going to take some keywords from what you said and pass it on to Saurabh here. Urbanization, aspirations coming in from other cities, and of course the whole thing about branding, because you perhaps are the best person to talk about that. In-your-face branding, customized branding, or of course, is it really vying for attention, as he said? So in this time and space, how do you put your brand out?
One of the most obvious observations out there, especially in the markets that you operate in, is that we tend to focus more on width rather than depth, which means because the customer wants pretty much everything, so let's create a lot of variety. Now, I understand that jewelry cannot do without variety, yeah. But, imagine if there was a possibility for you to, create a design solution, or a particular concept, which you could go really, really deep into. It could be as simple as a band. And, there are some amazing brands in the jewelry space. I can think of a Pandora, which has something called an Embrace. Some of you may be very, very familiar with it. It's amazing that how just a single band creates such a distinct identity for you out there in the market, right? Now, you in the business that you're in, there is tremendous opportunity in focusing on depth rather than width. And that itself could be a key differentiator for you. So you've got to think about whether you can actually create product brands. I know most of you sitting here are retailers. And when you're a retailer, you'll end up creating a retail brand, and which basically means a service brand. And at the end of the day, you're selling a product. Now, the question is, how do you distinguish yourself when you're selling a product like a service brand? So you will have to bring that product mindset in. You will have to create that distinct factor in your designs, probably one or two patented styles, which actually create those possibilities for you, unlock value creation because of that focus.
If I could just add two more things over here which we've seen, and while we've seen a shift in values and beliefs, I would just like to add to what you've said to say, this consumer that we're talking to, and Platinum is talking to the young consumer, they value new experiences. And they have a really keen sense of exploration to enrich their lives. And I think technology enables them to seek these global benchmarks. They are multitaskers, and the internet has changed the way they do everything in life. And for us, that's a big thing, because we have to rethink the way we look at internet and digital strategy. And the other point, and this is quite interesting because we're talking to the young consumer. So while they may be young, there is a greater sense of consciousness and responsibility in the decisions they make and the brands they choose. And it's quite unusual for the young consumer to have this. So whether it is to live a more fulfilling life or whether to make a social impact, I just find that they are more conscious than older consumer groups.
The event concluded with felicitating key retailers who championed the Season of Love campaign, PGI India's flagship in-store conversion program.
So today, as we said earlier, we are going to be celebrating success. The Season of Love 2018 has completely set new benchmarks. We started, as you all know, Season of Love in 2016, and we had 20% of our retail stores participating. And in just 2 years, this year, we have 90% of all Platinum stores participating. And with a 70% growth in sales and a threefold increase in consumer engagement, it is an incredible success. And it would not have been possible without your belief, support, and tremendous efforts. So thank you, and a big congratulations to all. So can we just give all of you a hand?
This year, the in-store campaign registered a retail sales growth of 70% with a whopping 75% increase in the number of retailers who participated in the campaign. Here's a look at the highlights from the night that honored the outperforming achievers in the sale of Platinum jewelry. Best Independent Store, Platinum Sales East. The winner is Indian Gems and Jewelry Creation. Best Chain Store, Platinum Sales East. The winner is Tanishq. Best Independent Store, Platinum Sales North. The winner is Jewelove. Best Chain Store, Platinum Sales North. The winner is Tanishq. Best Independent Store, Platinum Sales South. The winner is Prince Jewelry. Best Chain Store, Platinum Sales South. The winner is GRT Jewelers. Best Independent Store, Platinum Sales West. The winner is CH Jewelers. Best Chain Store, Platinum Sales West. The winner is Aura. Best Platinum Sales Manager. The winner is Hiren Ranpara, IH Jewelers. Best Independent Store. The winner is IH Jewelers. Best Chain Store. The winner is GRT Jewelers. Best Manufacturer, Platinum Sales for Platinum Days of Love. The winner is Jewelex. Best Manufacturer, Platinum Sales for Ivara and Men's. The winner is BN Jewelers.
When you go for trade shows, there's so many other things on your mind. You're looking at gold, diamonds, Italian jewelry, so and so. So it gets very cluttered. So just having something showcase only platinum and all the focus is just on this. It really helps you sort out your preferences, and it gives you the perspective that you should also, create a similar setup for the consumer.
This is the first time that we have something for platinum, exclusively for platinum. So it gives us enough time to actually sit down with all the buyers, the sellers, and meet them in person. Tell them our ideas about what's happening in our store. It gives us actually a lot of time to speak to each other.
Focus. Ideate. Innovate. Enable.